Heading north down the I-15 through Utah, we're going to take a detour to a most amazing location with a little bit of roadside Americana and a rich history. Welcome to Parowan, Utah. Come along and join the adventure. Welcome everyone to Weekend Escapades. Today we're on a journey in Utah and we are stopping in Parowan. Now Parowan is just outside the Parowan Gap that we've put a video up before. You can see the giant sign behind us. And there's a little bit of information over here on a placard. We're gonna see what it says. All right, so here it is, the Welcome to Parowan, Utah. So this one says that it was established in 1851. The Parowan was originally a fort located in the town square. Even though the fort was 4 walls and no longer stands, the town square is still the heart of Parowan. It's got some maps here on the way up to Bryan Head. As you can see, Bryan Head is a lodge area and it has a ski lift, and in the summertime they do mountain biking down that hill. And there's some areas that we're going to explore around Bryan Head. As you can see, there's a tremendous amount of placards here giving us a little bit of information and the location of kind of where we're at. So there's Parowan in that area. As you can see, up the road, the 15 is Salt Lake. Back down that direction, St. George. And of course, Arizona is not far off that area from St. George. It is right on the border. Okay, so we found a location on the way up to our destination on top of the hill through Parowan. And this looks to be the Parowan Cotton Factory, as you can see right there. It says on this site in 1862, the first cotton factory was erected in the West, and it's designed and operated by William Marsden and owned by Elizabeth Hanks. Here, the first bale of cotton yarn was made west of the Mississippi River. And you can see here, they've also dedicated all the girls that worked in the cotton factory. And that looks like a giant piece of equipment there that maybe was horse-drawn, possibly. It's got some kind of a hitch on it there. Belt-driven, obviously for cotton. And of course, you can see a tremendous amount of plows and old wagons, as every one of these small towns in Utah preserved their history and what each town was designated for. So this, of course, was a fort area in central town, and in the center of town, I should say. And then, of course, this was the location for the cotton factory. So we'll just take a quick stroll through here and share some of the highlights of what we're looking at. Now, this building right here is original Pioneer Industrial Center in 1850. Discovery of large deposits of iron ore and coal in this vicinity by Parley P. Pratt, a Mormon leader and explorer led by Brigham Young. And there was 117 men and 30 women, 18 children lived in wagon beds which had been placed in rows in the ground for days after founding Parowan, and it was established as the county seat of Iron County. And this is one of the original buildings that were right here. We'll go around to the front of it as well. An amazing old building. Look at the construction on that. Rough cut timber for sure. Well, now after looking at it, what this is the first Iron County log schoolhouse. It was built November 1851, and classes began on January 12, 1852. Reading, writing, and arithmetic were taught. The only supplies were a few slates and books. And occasionally, that old schoolhouse, that little bitty schoolhouse, was used for town meetings. And look at all the equipment here. And they must love this tractor because they have put a roof over the top of it. Well, let's see what kind of tractor it is. That's a beauty. It looks to be a case tractor right there. Okay, so enough for the little outdoor museum in Parowan. We're going to head further down the road to our final destination. we found ourselves in downtown Parowan, so city center. And right here is something unique. Take a look at this. This is an original hitching ring. So during the last half of the 19th century, commercial endeavors developed along Parowan streets into this community freight wagons. And this is where they used to hitch up the old draft horses. So that's an original ring where they hooked up the old draft horses here in Parowan. And the placard proves it. Now this is a visitor center here in Parowan, but you can see there that it was the old bank. And I'm gonna head into the visitor center because I see an old vault inside that still exists on the back wall. And of course, some of Parowan, the old town, are right there. We're gonna visit that as well. So here's the vault in the old bank. And I'm gonna open that up, take a look. Look at this. That is a heavy door. Light switch for the vault. There we go. So inside the vault, oh, you can hear the echo. And another amazing safe and a cash box with no cash. Look at that. Now this is the original ledger, and we're not supposed to touch it, so we will not. But that's the original ledger from the bank right there. On the old roll-top desk. Haven't seen one of those in a while. All right, heading down the main street of Parowan. Now, we didn't think there was as much here as there is, but there's a tremendous amount of old buildings down here. Let's just stroll down this 2-block area and take a look at what's going on. You can see all the old buildings have turned into a couple of restaurants and retail shops, but this is very well preserved and beautiful. You can see here, this is a leader in RX drugs, the old sign. There's the Parowan Drug and Gift. Some beautiful storefronts here. And they've turned this into a Mexican-American cuisine. So they've turned this into a Mexican-American cuisine. Home of the Mother Town Burrito. Well, that sounds delicious. These big old beautiful houses are located right next to the downtown area, as you can see there. Look at the sign there. Roof Garden Chocolates McDonald's. Love the old signs. Now they've turned this building into a real estate office. As you can see how beautiful that is. It's like an old storefront right downtown. Much more across the way. Small town America. Wild Bill Express, or Wild Bill's Express. It's like an old filling station. And they kind of modernized it with some new pumps, but you can tell with the little island right there that that is an old gas station that's no longer in use. And if you want to see vintage old-time Americana, take a look at this sign. Ace Motel. Now what they've done at Ace Motel is turned it into a antique store. Right over here behind us where the motel was. Let's go check that out. While we're checking it out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, as it's going to let you know when we put up new videos so you can watch more content like this. That would have been the area where you check in. And this is the hotel back here, or motel. And look at that. Every one of these rooms is turned into an antique dealer. But those were all once rooms for people to stay in. Here's a better picture of the motel check-in area. You can see now, it's called the Rusty Bucket. Of course, the check-in area for the old motel, not the rooms, but just an area that they had just packed full of collectibles and antiques, even the bathroom. Now, each one of these rooms has antiques and collectibles in them. But room 5 is said to be left original, so we'll take a look at room 5. This is 6. Original carpet. And the walls, so nothing's changed from when the hotel shut, or motel shut down. Ceiling tile. That would have been your bathroom. And a little closet in the back. Okay, so we've just left the amazing antique museum that was the original motel in town, the Ace Motel. And now we're just going to continue on through town. If you ever get this direction and you want to see antiques and collectibles, stop into this location here. It is amazing. Some more old storefronts and buildings in town. And we're going to cross the street because over here are some real nice old buildings, and I see an old theater marquee up the street. See, this one looks like it was an old garage. I wish I knew. It almost looks like it could have been a firehouse as well, with that door right in the middle of town. But there's no placard on there. You know, it's kind of interesting in old towns. You see all these old buildings, but there's not much on the front of them to say what they are. You can see this one here, the old one turned into yoga and massage. Renew. Well, this house is nestled in between these giant oak trees. Those trees could tell some stories if they could talk, for sure, right downtown. But this old house, beautiful ornate woodwork, and it's just right next to the old community theater right up there. This is the other side of the street downtown. You can see the houses where we started. Drugstore and pharmacist over there. This side is beautiful as well. But this theater marquee is what I'm after looking at. Beautiful old theater. The town's not real busy, that's why I'm standing right in the middle of the street. Take a look at that, the Aladdin. Beautiful. Well, it looks like it is still in use. Look at the old projector inside. The barber shop. They're inside cutting hair right there. You see the old pole just a twirling. A beautiful old brick house. This town is beautiful. Uh-oh. Bunch of large bales of hay. And again, this is right on the mouth of the entrance to Bryan Head, which is a ski resort. And we're going to be heading up to that location and make that our final destination of the day. And look at how beautiful that is. Walking backwards. A little added piece of history. On January 13th, 1851, a settlement party led by George A. Smith settled Parowan, and within 1 week the necessary governmental officers were elected in what was now United. This area was rich with resources, water, timber, and iron. What was first called the City of the Little Salt Lake was renamed Parowan, a Native American name meaning evil water. Okay, so we're driving down the road and just glanced and saw this marker. And you always want to see if there's a marker alongside the road hidden in the bushes. I mean, literally hidden. And it says that this monument
Erected in memory of Nathan Benson Sr., owner and operator of a water-powered up-and-down saw lumber mill at this location from 1880 to 1896. And it was erected by the second, third, and fourth generations. And over here, through the long weeds, is kind of a picture of Ann Babbitt and Nathan Benson Sr. And this was the location of the sawmill. You can hear the water, maybe not, running in the background because there's a creek here where they would have operated that sawmill.
We're going to finish up here in beautiful Parowan, but take a look at a few pictures of what's coming up next. And until our next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades. We'll see you in the next one.